Welcome into the Play the Fight Song podcast YouTube channel, wherever you're watching this, all our social medias. A little abnormal of a fan perspective, as you've seen, we've started to do for recaps and previews for each of our teams here. News out of Iowa City, as you can see on the ticker below, Beth Getz has announced that Brian Ferentz will no longer be a part of the Iowa football program, concluding or at the end of this year, at the conclusion of this year, presuming that's after a bowl game. And things like that. Definitely a little bit of a shocker. I think it's a shocker in the fact that you were kind of expecting maybe something to happen at the end of the year, whether that was Kirk resigning and retiring, whether that was him and Brian just kind of stepping away together, or there was ideas and rumors out there, but to get it on the Monday after a bye week is a little bit shocking. I think it's shocking to also see Beth Getz saying in no longer be a part of the program after this year, not will lose offensive coordinator duties. And I'll read that statement here. I think it's probably best if we just go that direction. Statement from Beth Getz, interim AD at the moment for the University of Iowa. Anyone who loves Iowa football recognizes both the success and challenges that have brought attention to our program this season. Our struggles on offense, coupled with the offensive coordinator's contract, make this a unique situation. I'd say that's pretty accurate. After conversations with Kirk Ferentz, Coach Brian Ferentz, and President Wilson, I informed Brian that our intention is for him to be with us through the bowl game, but this is his last season with the program. Making this known today is in the best interest of the program and its loyal fans. It provides clarity during this pivotal time in the schedule. I get it. I respect that a lot. I mean, bringing it out and telling the fans and doing all that stuff after a big move like this, your first big move is presumed going to be the full-time AD here soon. If you're making moves like this as an interim, that doesn't really happen very often. It is not my practice to be involved in assistant coach decisions, and certainly not to make such a public change during a season. Our priority is to put our student athletes in the best position to have both short-term and long-term success on and off the field. Our football team has a group of outstanding young men and talented athletes who at 6-2 have a lot to play for. As a former athlete, I know every opportunity to put on the jersey is a cherished one. As Hawkeyes, let's continue to support all of our coaches, staff, student athletes in the pursuit of the Big Ten championship and a bowl game victory. That's what came from Beth Getz, and she put her name on it, and she's talking all about it. I think we could assume, and I think we were assuming when she was named interim that she was going to be the AD. I think this probably solidifies it. I think she knows she's going to be the AD at the University of Iowa here in the future. That is a lot. There's a lot to pick apart about that statement. No longer with the program, as we touched on. I've heard and I understand, and I could completely see this, that Kirk is not happy with this decision, that he wanted no part of this decision. I don't know how it all went down. I don't know if Beth just came out and said it. I don't know if they had a meeting and tried to figure something else and they settled here. Who knows? But I know for a fact that Kirk's not happy with this. He already says he doesn't like change. He doesn't care what the record is of where everything ranks for the offense on a national scale. He does not care about this. He cares about win-losses. To be fair, like, it's worked for a long time, but in the new generation of football, in this new era of college football, it's not. And I think we're seeing that in the last couple of years. It's just not a feasible way to win games at a high level. It's not a feasible chance to win a Big Ten title or get into a playoff. Like, they're not going to do that doing this. There was a statement that came out from Pete Thamel regarding Brian Ferentz. I believe this is from Brian Ferentz to Pete Thamel. You can see this on Twitter or on X. For the vast majority of my adult life, I've had the privilege to represent the University of Iowa as a football player and coach. I've always considered and will always consider an honor. In that time, my singular goal has been to contribute to the football team's success. As long as I am employed by the University of Iowa, I stated my goal will not change. My priority will continue to be for the well-being of our students and the success of our team. Now, what else do you want the guy to say, right? I think we kind of saw that the whole way through and knew that he wasn't going to say anything bad. And Brian's not a bad guy, but I think we all understood that he was not a great offensive coordinator. As I try to plug my laptop back in because my dog's in the psycho mood right now. I think we know that, right? I think we understand that he kind of got the short end of the stick here. Like, there was not a lot of things put in place that kind of kept him. You're a head coach's son that's been there for all these years. You get promoted to offensive coordinator. You don't do very well during it. Then we get this contract situation after last year. And then the AD, Barta, who brings this contract to light, is retiring and doesn't even see it through. And then you're just on the laughing stock. How poor your offense is, how ridiculous the contract is. And it just got to be too much. And I think it's a public relations nightmare. And I think Beth gets saw it the moment she was brought onto campus. And that's probably why she's gone this direction. Now, however Kirk feels is just something we're going to have to deal with. But I'm really hoping that we can now get to a point where it's about the rest of this year, right? I feel like this is the right move. This gets the program moving in the right direction. Whatever happens with Kirk happens with Kirk. Whether he wants to step down and retire, whether he wants to stay on this program. Cowboy, get the fluff out of here. Damn dog. Just look at how this program is set up right now. He's got his guy at defense coordinator. He's got a guy at special teams coordinator who a lot of people around the country would love to have. He now loses an offense coordinator, which he's never fired. He's never fired an offense coordinator from this program. So you think he's going to change by hiring somebody completely different? No, he's going to end up getting another guy who runs something similar and has to adhere to Kirk's way of playing football. And maybe he does want to do that. Maybe he's got a couple more years in him. I tend to think that he's going to be done after this year, and more power to him. He's earned the right. He's not going to get fired. He's earned the right to kind of retire on his own time. But when it becomes a detriment to the program, I think that's what Beth saw when she made the move and basically announced that today. Also, when you kind of look through everything, there's a press conference tomorrow, like Tuesday. We're going to have hopefully a clean one where Kirk's going to be upset. I hope he doesn't get berated with these kind of questions because we have a division to win still. There's no reason you don't win the division. I said that beginning of the year. I've said it all year. There's no reason you don't win the West Division. And I think he wants to focus on that. So I'm hoping Beth comes out prior or first and just addresses everything and then asks the media to just pay attention to Northwestern. That's what we care about this week because Northwestern just beat Maryland. They're not a pushover necessarily. Like, especially with how Iowa's been playing last couple weeks, nobody's a pushover. Every game is losable. Every game is winnable. It's kind of the situation we're in right now. What's next for the year? Don't expect crazy changes. Don't expect this offense to go high flying all of a sudden. Don't expect them to quit playing football the way they play football. Nothing's going to change in the immediate future. After the year, we'll talk about it. And I don't want to dive into possible candidates right now because it's about this year and our goal is still in front of us of making the Big Ten title and having a chance to win the Big Ten title. Is it a stretch? Absolutely. But you should win the West. And I believe that. So that's where we're at right now. I would want to say to fans and people like that, just if you're going to Kinnick, obviously not this week. They're playing in Chicago this week, but next week against Rutgers, just leave it. If things are going poorly and you're booing and you're worried about fire Brian Chance or you're just chanting dumb stuff, let's get behind these players that really need something right now. It's not going to be an easy time in this program. We are without an offense coordinator at the end of the year. The team's already struggling offensively. They just lost a bad one to Minnesota. Coming off a bye week, they need to get their feet under them. Let's be positive. Let's go get a West Division. Let's go get one of our goals. Like we've missed on one of them. We need to get another. So that's kind of where I'm at. And I hope everybody gets a chance to kind of dive into all this and to develop their own thoughts. Obviously, it's a good step in the right direction. 125 million% step in the right direction. This program should be much better than it is competing for a Big Ten every year. So I appreciate it. We'll talk to you on our preview throughout the week. Thanks.